Well, this starts episode 3 of the Range Rover Classic 2-door restoration. Most of this video is going to be about rust repair. There's not a lot of rust on this vehicle, but still, we're trying to stop it from happening going forward because now we're in the U.S., in Virginia, and it's a wetter climate than it would be where it came from, which is in the arid part of Spain. So join me, let's see how this goes. Well, after all the distractions about the parking lot incident and getting that bumper off, this is really the first time we've had a chance to look over the vehicle and get Chris's initial thoughts. So what do you think?
Well,
it's a list, right? A list of things
there's a list. I have to say that my whole life I've sort of suspected I'd be a Rover driver.
Yep.
I'd always admired the way these things looked and the grace they had aesthetically and visually.
Yeah.
You know, Spence King, I view this as like one of the most iconic designs of the 20th century. But I was never quite sure whether I'd like the way they drove.
Yeah.
You had your beautiful black one that I was dying to drive, and it was so nice that someone...
You never drove it.
I never drove it.
Yeah.
Someone just made you an offer you couldn't refuse. So the big X factor for me was would I actually enjoy driving it. The truth is I love driving it.
Yeah, and you're going to go skiing, right?
We're going to take it up to the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I'm very actually confident. Maybe I shouldn't be with a British car, but I'm very confident.
Call me if you're gonna make it. I'll come get you if you need it. But I think it's gonna be great. And I like the 2-door. It's super cool. It's super awesome. Next time I have a Range Rover, I'm gonna have a 2-door.
Well, it's they're hard to find here in the States, but the 2-door 3.9 EFI 5-speed combination was, after you and I had done a bunch of research, we kind of fell on this is the one we want, and it was a question of either having to import one from Europe, you know, Portugal, Spain, or finding one here. We were lucky to find one here that had already
But it was imported from Spain, left-hand drive.
Left-hand drive, 2017, Autology Motors, who, you know, is pretty well known for bringing these into the States, run by a really nice gentleman named Paul, like you, a different Paul.
Coincidence,
so this has been in the States, actually been in the Mid-Atlantic for most of the past 3 years, and it's going to stay in the Mid-Atlantic here in Virginia.
Great.
So.
Awesome. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We'll do a record. We'll do a vlog of all the stuff we do to it.
I think that's a great idea.
Cool.
Thanks Paul.
Man. Yes.
I can lift you up. Okay. You clear, Ava?
Clear. Doing good.
So for this one...
How does it... Hey, Paul?
Yeah.
Is this okay? It's a little...
It's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Got more than enough purchase. I'm looking around just to kind of make myself feel good. That looks good. Looks good. That's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this. And we even can do a little silly thing that, you know, we're gonna shake the vehicle just to. That's totally fine. Okay. That's exactly how I did mine for 1,000 hours of work. so yeah. So now you just have to kind of watch the. Well, we don't want to go much higher because we need to open the hood to decide how we're going to do the starter. So why don't we stop there for a little bit?
Okay.
Okay.
Where's the button you're pushing?
It's right here.
This one?
Mm-hmm. There it is. All right.
Looks original.
All right. Yeah. Well, we can take it apart someday and see, but I think the gear looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
See that gear?
Yeah,
right
it sure
there?
does.
So the starter solenoid is probably just corroded, you know, with high resistance corrosion, you know. So again, this could be taken apart and have all the contacts cleaned. But if you've got a new one, we'll put this as a spare.
Yeah, still has a sticker.
Yeah. It may be original, maybe. I don't know. Someone watching this video will know if Ebart or whatever that is.
That's Spanish, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And the truck's from Spain.
This is
so maybe this is an aftermarket.
This is one replacement at least. Cool.
Hey, you're ready.
So Chris and I are working on this truck together. It's actually his truck, but I've got a better garage. He doesn't really have access to a decent garage and working space. So he's actually gone back home for a few days, and I'm going to take care of a couple of items that are on the to-do list. One of the items is the driver's seat appears to be loose, and I think I figured out what the problem is with the driver's seat. So save your comments about the interior upholstery. Chris is very aware, and we're both talking about what the answer is for for this interior. It's probably a one of those things that some people like and some people don't. But driver's seat. So, you know, the seat sits on 4 posts, 4 locations, but this location right here, the weld is broken. And I don't know how well that'll show up, but watch when I move this seat. So that weld is broken. This piece should be welded down to this post, to that stand. So I'm going to pull this seat out. I'm going to pull the seat out. It's just 4 bolts. And I'm going to get my MIG welder out and take care of that. All right, seat's out. And there's the problem. That should be, see how it's tack welded here. It's same thing. Should be over here. So that'll be easy. I'll get this carpet out of the way. And you can see where it's broken a little bit right there. So I'll clean that metal off, get a clean spot to weld, and knock that out. Much better. I'm going to leave the seat out because you can see that there's a little bit of rust starting. This is a truck from Spain, so that's a pretty dry, arid climate. None of this rust is all the way through. It's really just surface rust. So while we've got it, I'm going to take out both seats and all the carpet and get in here and really clean it up, wire brush, and put down some rust converter and a good coat of rust sealer. So it'll be all good before we put it back. Well, for anyone that makes videos, you know that it's just a matter of time until your data gets corrupted. So I've probably spent 8 hours of work on Chris's Range Rover. And, you know, I've been going through and documenting it with video clips here and there, but all corrupted. So the good news is you're going to see about 5 minutes of video in about 1 minute. So when I last stopped, I had welded this seat bracket right there. But what I've done since then is carefully wire brushed the floor to get all the surface rust and anything flaky or scaly removed, so I could put down a really good coat of Eastwood rust encapsulator. But while I was doing that, when I was up here, I did find surface rust there, but as I poked at it, I realized it was really weak. This is a piece that was right there. So needless to say, I could have done a fiberglass repair or looked the other way, but I went ahead and cut it out and made a really nice cut till I got to good metal. And then I made a new piece out of same gauge steel as that footwell, and I stitch welded that in, and then I painted. I continued that same painting process for the footwell. So here's that same location from the wheel side. I've only put one coat of paint on right now, but you can see the stitch weld there where I've patched in that piece. And there's still a little bit of other rust around here. I don't know if that shows up. Let me get that flashlight. But it's really surface rust, so I'm just going to wire brush that and put some paint on it. But this is very solid. It's going to be a great floor, and it will last forever. So I'll get it really well coated, multiple coats. And so there you go. There's the summary of all that work. All right, things turned out well here. 2 coats of black rust encapsulator, at least three coats of white oil-based Rust-Oleum. So this is very much protected from rust in the future. And also in here, same thing. That whole area, you can see that repair. That whole area is now sealed up really good. So I'm going to throw the seat back in it and get it back on its feet and get it out of here for now, because I've got some other stuff to work on. But this is a good first step. I'll do the passenger side the same way, just like this. So the passenger side just had surface rust, so I just wire brushed and cleaned it up and did the same type of treatment with the rust inhibitor and then some white oil-based paint. And turned out really well, should be good. And then put back the factory sound deadening material and then the carpet that came with the vehicle. So the carpet's in pretty good shape. So, but while I'm in a rust mindset, I went ahead and went down to the sills under the vehicle, the sills and the box beam that runs along this area. And I did, again, scraping, sanding, wire brushing, prepping, and I did a really good job of painting black and white to match the factory colors of those sills and the box beam in that center section where it gets a lot of splash from the tires. And so that's in much better shape. So that is it for this episode. The next episode is going to be more focused on cosmetics like wheels and just improving the overall cosmetic condition of the vehicle. So that'll be fun. And but I found a cool picture here on the web of the last 2-door built. Thought that was kind of cool, so I wanted to share. See you next time.